Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Protocol observed, but I would like to recognize Minister Iselin Phillip. I would also like to recognize Mr. Delwyn Delaney, and to our young females, our youth who are present here, those who are viewing online. I feel like I am home, and the reason why I say that is, believe it or not, I too was once an athlete. That is where it started for me. Sports has always been my passion, especially track and field. I think I was the best sprinter in the world. My goal was to make it to the Olympics, but sadly, it did not work out, but it did not end my contribution to sports. I'm therefore elated and honored to be invited by the SKN Athletics and the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association to address you, or youth, or females, especially, on a subject that is dear to my heart, taking your place in sports and society. When taking your place in sports and society, it is important that you understand who you are as an individual, the role you play, and how your abilities can help to shape our society. It is also important for you to understand how sporting endeavors are intertwined with our social roles. Please allow me to expound. And I want all of you to listen carefully. It is through sports that you will learn core values, principles, and discipline. Forgive me. It is through sports that you can become an outstanding team player, not just among females, but males as well. It is through sports that you can live a healthy lifestyle. It is through sports you can escape poverty and create a better life for yourself and your family. It is through sports that you will experience struggles and victories that will make you a stronger individual. It is through sports that you will unlock many opportunities and contribute to the greater good of society. It is in the name of sports and society that you need to take your place. In sports, as in society, we all have an important role to play. Whatever position or place you take, it is critical to the advancement of our country. No role taken is more important than the other. And I repeat, no role taken is more important than the other. So you as an athlete, you're not more important than the president of SKN Athletics. Or the president of SKN Athletics is not more important than you. They're all connected. If you fail, he fails. If he fails, you fail. What is important is that you understand what it means to take your place, which is to embrace your qualities and talents, share your expertise, take advantage of opportunities, accept responsibility, and recognize the impact that your actions will have on society. Coaches, senior retired athletes, clubs, government, executive members, community officials, volunteers. It is our responsibility to encourage our youth to take their place and to do so without doubt, fear, discrimination, or prejudice. To our youth, taking your place in sports and society means offering support and recognizing each other's contribution. How many of you support the other? Like if you're training and one of your colleagues, she falls, do you assist her in getting up? Anybody does that? Okay, good. It's good to know that you do that. And it is also important that you do it for your male athletes as well. I've learned at a gender dialogue I attended in St. Lucia recently that when we are discussing gender and gender equality, we cannot leave out the males or the men or the boys. To a youth, taking your place in sports and society also means offering support, and I did say recognizing each other's contribution. I repeat it, sorry. Athletes, taking your place means being dedicated to the sport by training hard. How many of you train hard and attend training regularly? Okay, good. Performing to the best of your ability, respecting the rules, and exhibiting sportsmanship. I'm reminded of Miss Lydia Claxton, the first division, to captain the West Indies netball team. I'm also reminded of Kim Collins, our 2003 World Championship. And I'm going to give some examples of men as well who are in sports. El Comido Willett, first cricketer from St. Kitts and Nevis and the Leeward Island to make the West Indies cricket team. And Mr. Keith Kayamba Gums, he represented the Federation internationally in football. I have listed them to say they have all excelled and are now stamped in the history books of sports in St. Kitts and Nevis. And this is because they were dedicated to the sports and leaving their legacy in society. So how many of you want to be a Lydia Claxton? How many of you want to succeed in sports? Ah, good. I see all hands. So that is very well. Allow me, because I cannot proceed without mentioning this young lady. I admire her. So if she's listening or anyone knows of her, please tell her that I admire her. I have to speak of our superstar, Miss Jazara Claxton, who continues to perform outstandingly, not only in athletics, but cricket and football. I don't know how she does it, but she's doing it, and she's doing a remarkable job. She was a member of the 2023 Carifta team. She plays for the West Indies under 19 and A team. And she also played for the Barbados Women Royals in the 2023 CPL Games. She has also represented the country on all levels, from under 15 to the senior women's team in football. How do you think Jazara accomplished so much, and at such young age? Jazara has taken her place. She, like her stalwart, works hard and remains dedicated to the sports. Taking your place as a coach means to strategize and implement effective programs that would aid in the development of our athletes. These programs should enhance athletes' performances, advance their careers, and address behavioral issues. Some of our coaches, well, I can think about when I was, track star. And it's not just track and field, I'll be highlighting. Some of our revered coaches are Lester Blackett, track and field, Janet Gray Hall, netball, Elvis Star Brown in football, and Stuart Williams in cricket. I now wish to highlight 3 of our youth who have taken their place as coaches in sports in our society. I wish to commend them for the great work they are doing in molding our children in becoming outstanding athletes. I think of Steve Liebert, head coach of the West Indies under 19 Rising Stars, Carisha Powell, certified coach in football, and Mr. Ryston Quealy, who is the coach of Immortal Track Club. While there are other young coaches, and I know going through my different points, you're probably hearing more males and females, and that is what we have to work on. But while there are other young coaches, I take this opportunity to encourage our youth, especially our females, to consider taking your places as coaches. I also encourage those in authority to invest more in providing opportunities in training for our young women. To our females or girls or young women, taking your place means realizing your potential and seizing every opportunity in sports, as was mentioned by myself, Maricia, and Minister Philip. There are opportunities in education, career advancement, and civic engagement. Now, I know, I hope she don't mind that I call her Maricia. We are on the same age and we were in track together. And I don't know if she could recall, but it was at the Bastia High School grounds. We were running the 200 meters. It was me, I think you, Elissa. Yes, that was the day that I tore my 2 hamstrings. And since then, it was a difficult journey for me to recover. I was never the same after that. I tried coming back, numerous times. And sometimes you would perform and it was good, and then other times, most times, it was really difficult. And in that moment, I wish, as a female, I had the support, especially financial support, to deal with the issues that I was facing. So these are things now that we have to look towards. But regardless, I was lucky in terms of education to receive a partial scholarship. When I graduated from school, I taught for a year, and then I decided I wanted to pursue tertiary education. Despite my inability to perform at 100%, I decided I was going to reach out to Monroe College, and I applied to do a bachelor's degree in accounting with concentration in finance. I was happy when they wrote back and said that they're going to give me a partial scholarship. It wasn't a whole scholarship. But my thing is, any contribution towards your education, it's everything that you could ask for. Because my parents, they're not rich. They're poor. They struggle. So even if it was $1, I was grateful. And they afforded me the opportunity to attend school on a partial scholarship. And while I was there, I was like, I'm going to give it a try again. And I was a part of the athletic team, and I performed. They mostly tried the relay, tried coming back. It didn't work out. But I say this to say, even though that part, me being an athlete and running and competing, did not work out, I gained something else from it. I was able to graduate with honors with a bachelor's degree in accounting with concentration in finance. And today I'm extremely happy that sports contributed to it in some way. Forgive me, I'm trying to maneuver this laptop. So, like I was saying, in education, you can receive a full or partial scholarship, and it will help your parents in being able to pay for your education. I think that is important. I'm soon getting there. Okay. Now, in terms of career advancement, you can take your place, as they were saying, as a sports administrator, a sports agent, a physical therapist, or become a pro athlete. Or you could become president of the SKN Athletics or the president of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association. Now, believe it or not, after I was an athlete, I didn't want to give up on the sport because, like I said, it meant everything to me. I then became a coach of the Gladiators Track Club. And it was one of the greatest feelings showing up every afternoon after work, finish work at 4 p.m., so around 4:30, to train my athletes. I adored them. I loved them. They became my children. Like, I couldn't do without them. Even today, even though I'm no longer coaching, they're still a part of my life. We may not speak every day, but when we do, it's as if there was no space between us. But that is what sports does. It creates and builds strong relationships. I take this opportunity now too. I want to recognize 4 St. Kitts Nevis match officials, namely Shandor Wilkinson, Sanchez Baz, Reginald Gomes, and Jaden Rose, who earlier this year received their FIFA badges as new FIFA match officials. I wish to congratulate them for taking the step to advance the career in football. Now I'm highlighting to show that we have people here who are outstanding. It just takes dedication, it takes support, and it takes assistance, yes, from ourselves, but also SKN Athletics, the governing bodies of the sports, and as well as our government. Now, how many of you think that you can earn money in sports? Some of you not sure? Or some of you think in sports that we don't make, well, I would say we, let's just say we don't make any money. I know growing up, many persons aspire to be lawyers, doctors, engineers, media personnel, because quite frankly, yes, it's a passion, but the reality is, so we look for professions that we feel we can earn, a large income from it. Well, I'm here to inform you that in sports, you can make money that would better your lifestyle. Do you believe me? How many of you believe that in sports you can make millions if you continue to work hard, stay dedicated? Oh, okay, well, they all believe me, so that's good. So you can, even when you go home, you can look up athletes like Shelley and Fraser, Serena Williams, LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mix them, yes, I mix male and female. Look them up. And we all know Usain Bolt, don't we? Right? Exactly, he's the world's famous. You too can become as successful as them. Yes, you can become millionaires, but only as long as you continue to do what? Say it, only as long as you continue to work hard. What else? You stay focused and you remain committed. It is good to know you guys are listening. Very well. Civic engagement. You can take your place as a mentor, innovator, or volunteer. How many of you volunteer when you're not on the track? How many of you probably when they have inter-school championship, you go and you volunteer to probably carry the basket, carry water, or as an official? Okay, that is very well. Giving back to your country is necessary for continued growth and development. You're able to connect to your community and make it a better place. Now to the governing bodies. Mr. Philip, we have a lot of work to do. So, Delaney, we have a lot of work to do. I've been pushing on SKN Athletics because after I became a coach, I have assumed some positions and sometimes I forget and I'm young. But I too was on the executive for SK Analytics. I was there for 2 years, a term. I think it was 2 years. I was the Assistant Secretary General and Treasurer of SK Analytics. So I'm talking to Minister Philip, Delwyn, and myself because I'm also involved. I'm also part of Parliament, and I love the sport. So I stay connected. Now, to the governing bodies, our position is vital in ensuring that our female athletes are provided with the necessary resources and opportunities that would contribute to their dominance locally, regionally, and networking abilities should be prioritized and organized for our girls and women. You see, when we take our position and execute our responsibilities, we will see a growth in sports and, by extension, our society. We will see an increase in the participation of our females in sports. Too often, and I know it was mentioned earlier, we see females become displaced after entering high school. I take this moment to encourage our female athletes to remain focused and driven. Do not allow anything or anyone to distract you from accomplishing your goals. You see, when we get to high school, as Maricia was saying, we get caught up in the nice stuff. I remember when I was going to high school, and you're in a group of people, and everyone like different things. Some people like to go to the movies, go to parties. Even in high school, when I say parties, I don't mean adult parties, but parties amongst ourselves. And I remember sometimes we're sitting on the bench, and I say to them, listen, school usually finishes around 3:20. It's 3:20, but I'm gonna go grab my bag because I had to walk with my clothes to train right away. And they would say to me, do you really have to go to training today? And you know what I said to them? Guess. Guess what I said to them? I am going to training today. Because I know not going to training, it would not allow me to get the gold medals that I want. And I love gold medals. I used to enjoy taking home a gold, giving it to my grandmother and saying, Granny, look, I did this. And I have all of them still. I do have most of my medals and trophies still. But I was motivated to win. I wanted to win. I wanted to perform. Like I said, I wanted to reach the Olympics, and that was no joke. That was serious. That is what I wanted for myself, to reach the Olympics. Unfortunately, like I said, it did not happen. I also want to know that I have recognized, and I think this was really an issue with the transition of our athletes from high school into university. It's for both men and women, mostly women. But I know, Marisa, you have a program in place. And I was hoping that you would have spoken about it. But if you could take just a second to come and talk about it, that would be good. So that they know that you do this program. I think it's you and your husband. Yes, right now. We reached there. It's okay. You see, we are supporting each other. And that is important. But I think it is important for our young people to know. Perhaps they're not aware. So if we shed some light on it, and they shed some light on it so that they could know, that is important. I was hoping you would have spoken about it before, but it's okay.
I'm not this tall, so I have to adjust this. So, thank you for mentioning it. I don't know, it must have slipped me. My husband and I, we own a recruiting service called Fit Camp Recruits, right? It started, what year is this? 2023? We started in 2020 during COVID. So when everybody was home watching Netflix, we were home preparing and reaching out and building our network. What we do, we help athletes find scholarships in the United States. Because I receive a track and track scholarship, and I love the sport so much. What we decided to do was to reach out to coaches in the US and help build that gap, because we notice a lot of athletes here in St. Kitts and Nevis, they're very, 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 very talented. But a lot of persons have trouble finding scholarships in the US. So we decided, okay, with the knowledge that I have and the experience from being out there, because before I came back home, I also worked for the university recruiting athletes into Florida State. We decided to make mention. My husband, mind you, I went to Bayside School. He went to Sandy Point High School. I don't know if back in the day, and even still today, we still have that big feud between these two schools. And so we had a big argument one night about whose school is better or what's not. And God just moved in such a way to say, stop arguing and just help the athletes. He was also into track and field, more so specifically, high jump. And then he went on to basketball. He got a basketball scholarship offer, but it was a partial scholarship, but he wasn't able to take it because he would have had to come up with some other set of monies, and he didn't want to take his family through that financial burden. So with him having that, I don't want to say he with that vengeance, but he wanted to make sure that somebody else gets that opportunity, and with the knowledge and experience I have, we help. To this date, and it's all because of God, we've helped 13 athletes find scholarships in the US. One of our own is right in the back right there, Miss Kenya Romney. And out of those 13, forgive me with my memory, I think out of those 13, either 4 or 5, maybe even more, are females. And every time we talk to coaches, the coaches are always literally asking for female athletes. I remember one coach was like, give me what you got. Like, they will take any. So I'm trying to say to you that please don't take your sport lightly. It can take you so, so very far. So thank you for that.
You see, I remembered when I was standing here, because I know I saw something on Facebook regarding it too. But in light of this, I recommend that we implement intensive mentorship, recruitment, and training program addressing the underlying problems of our girls, women, is key to ensuring their continued participation in the sports. Sports as a societal force is quite powerful. Sports bridge the gap of divides and unite people, no matter their race, gender, religion, or political affiliations. You know what I think about our signature sporting event? Look at it, because down here we could be quite political, especially. I think of the Inter-Primary School Championship in Nevis, the TDC Inter-High School Championship, and I think of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Premier League. And I am amazed at the amount of people who come together despite race, gender, religion, and political affiliations to support. And bearing in mind, it's not just nationals who come and support, but people throughout the region. And that is why you have to take sports seriously. So when you're on the track performing, you don't know who is sitting in the crowd looking at you. Might be somebody who's recruiting athletes. So you want to go on the track and you want to perform at the best of your ability. Now, sports influence change in our community by promoting peace, gender equality, and justice. Sports also build strong leaders within our community. I see strong leaders here. I see Maricia. I don't know some of your names, but you're leaders too. Even though you're young, you're still leaders in your schools, you're still leaders in your track club. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to tell yourself that, listen, no matter the difficulties that come my way, it could be injury, it could be peer pressure from your friends, you are going to stay committed to doing what you love to do. Do not become distracted. I know it's going to be hard. Nothing in life is easy. Believe you me when I tell you nothing in life comes easy. But you have to stay the course, and you have to remind yourself each day that I'm doing this because I love it, and I'm doing this too to seek opportunities to better my life and the life of my family. In conclusion, I urge you to fulfill your purpose in sports and society. Remember, who you are as an athlete is as important as who you are as an individual and a leader. Keep being true to yourself and always be bold in taking your place in sports and society. I thank you.